don't care how long you've been on your job. You might have a good pension plan and you may have been paying into it all these years, but don't you know that there could come a new boss, there could come a new management. They don't care how long you've been there, don't care how you sacrifice for the company. You remember in the book of Genesis, out of all that Joseph did for Egypt, the Bible says that there arose a Pharaoh that did not know Joseph. Can I talk to somebody in here that when you get new bosses and new supervisors and new administrators that come in, baby, they don't mind giving you a pink slip just like everybody else. And if that's all that you are trusting in, then what you're going to do. Oh, my brothers and sisters, can I tell you, you can't even trust the area where you live. Sometimes, you know, when you hear on the news about a murder or kidnapping in a particular area, sometimes it seems they always interview people talking about, you know, I'm just surprised that kind of stuff don't happen around here. I don't know where you're living, because baby, as long as you got folks that live in the hood, I don't care where it is, anything is subject to go down. You got crazy folk that live in Beverly Hills just like they live in Watts. You got folks that live in Pacific Palisades just like they live in the projects, and subject to happen anything anywhere. Oh, my brothers and sisters, all I'm trying to tell you is I've seen people, and I know it's nothing wrong with wanting a better life. It's nothing wrong in trying to get a better neighborhood to raise your children. But instead, you got to understand it ain't about the area where I raised them. Notice what Paul said here. He said, don't trust in uncertain riches. Don't get beside yourself. He said, but what you need to do is trust in the living God. Do I have some help in here? You need to understand, in other words, even if you have to say I'm from the projects, even if you got to say I'm from the hood, I'm from South Central, you need to come to a point to say, Lord, I'm raising these children all by myself, and I need you to be a fence all around them. Is there anybody in this room that can testify that you may not have came up in the best area of town, you may not have came up in 90210, but when you did come up, you understand if it had not been for God protecting you, protecting your going in and protecting your going out. Y'all not feeling me like I need you. Let me tell you, I grew up in the projects and gang activity was rampant. We didn't have an alarm system. We didn't have bars on the window, but every night I hear Mama saying when she locked the door, Lord, cover us with your blood. Because can I tell you something? The protection of the Lord, the Bible says he will watch over you both day and night. Do I have anybody in here that know that when the Lord is watching you, that's more secure than bars on your windows, that's more secure than your gun in your closet, that's more secure than that alarm that's on your house? Do I have a witness here? All my brothers and sisters, I know sometimes people try to work hard to get a promotion, and sometimes, yes, the first time they get a few dollars ahead of starvation, the first thing they do is go in debt. But can I tell you, brothers and sisters, you need to understand that if you are blessed to get a little ahead, don't go make a bill for yourself right away. You got to learn how to save a little bit. Can I tell you, if there's anything that's plaguing the African American community, it is the fact that we learned not how to save. It seems that we spend every dime we have, and then we commit to every dime that we don't have. Can I talk to you that you got to understand the economic figure figures of a couple of years ago talked about the fact that as bad as the economy were, as bad as real estate was doing, that many people that was losing their homes and losing their job, there was one occupation, there was one field that still prospered, that still made a prosperity, that still succeeded even in the economic downfall, and that was the field of hair and beauty. And in other words, if folks didn't have a job, they still when they got their hair done. If folks was losing their house, they were still going to get their hair done every 2 weeks. What I'm trying to tell you, sister, you got to sometimes get to a point to say, even if I got to put my hair in a ponytail and get some braids, I'm going to have to learn how to save what I have. Because what sense does it make for you to walk around looking good by the head, but ain't got a dollar in your pocket? Oh, I knew y'all was going to sleep on it. All my brothers and sisters, can I tell you, sometimes you got people that need to understand that riches are so uncertain that sometimes people will look at people on a certain level and say that I never will do that. They look down the nose at somebody else. But can I tell you, honey, that life and riches are so uncertain that at the end of the day, if you're not careful, you will end up doing the same thing that you swore that you never will do. That's why the old folks said, don't ever say never. Do I have some help in here? That you got to understand, I've seen people in this economic downfall that those who swore they never would apply for public assistance, pride ended up having to break them down, and before you know it, they ended up going and having to apply for financial aid. They had to go and apply for food stamps and welfare because they trusted, yes, in the uncertainty of the riches. Can I tell you, you might have some pride now, but you just let them bills keep on coming. You just let them babies keep on wetting diapers and needing bottles in the morning, and before you know it, you'll find yourself too in the check and food stamp line. Do I have some help in here? Oh, I wish I had somebody here that learned how to outgrow pride. I got rid of pride a long time ago. Every month I'm looking for some food stamps. Come on, help me talk somebody. All my brothers and sisters, I've seen people that used to be ashamed about that kind of stuff. But honey, now since they got the EBT, honey, they'll go somewhere and put that EBT on the table just as proud as you put your American Express. Because guess what? I don't care if it's American Express or EBT. We both still leaving out of here with what we came for. But all my brothers and sisters, the reality is, understand, the original text literally says, trust in God. Come on, touch your neighbor and tell them you got to trust in God. Yes, can I tell you, you got to know that that's not just for the struggling, that's not just for the poor, but we all need to learn how to trust in God. The reason I'm trusting Him is because I understand that without God I can't do nothing. If God don't bless you, you can't make it by yourself. Yes, the songwriter said, without God I can do nothing. I would be like a ship without a sail. But I got somebody in here to know you can trust God when you can't count on anybody else. How many women in this room have been able to raise and rear children all by yourself on fixed income without the benefit of a father because they learned how to trust God? I've heard somebody say, I don't know how, but I do know that the Lord will make a way somehow. Do I have a witness here? Yes, my brothers and sisters. Yes, sometimes even when I look at my own self and when I look at my own sense of ability and when I see what I bring in and what I got to pay out, and sometimes it makes me wonder, how did mama used to do it? You understand? I remember as a boy that when my mother used to get a $2.15 on the first and $2.15 on the 15th, I didn't understand that with rent and bills, but never was food out of the refrigerator. We always had food to eat in the morning, always had food to eat at night. I didn't know how she was able to take what she was getting and stretch it out here and there. But now that I've got a little older, I understand that if you trust God, God will put some elastic in what you have, and God will stretch what you have and help you to do what you need to do. Do I have a witness here? Maybe I'm on somebody's street that you understand what it is for your outgo to exceed your income, and you're literally paying out more than you're bringing in, and on paper your budget don't make sense, but still in all, nothing has ever been disconnected. You still got food in the refrigerator, you're able to turn the lights on, you're able to put your gas in your car, and your car hasn't been repossessed, and your home hasn't been foreclosed, and your only explanation is not that you're so good with numbers and not that you're able to balance the budget, but your only explanation is the Lord will make a way.